It is your boy Triple G93 here, giving you an epic long battle of Vulture War, Scarabs, Banshees, everything that you can imagine is happening in this game, and that's just a small sneak preview of it. And it all happened because of mistakes that were happening in the early game. But there's going to be a lot going on in this match, and before we go ahead and get to it, hope you're having a wonderful day today. And now let's get to the early game. So our early game is relatively simple. We're getting the supplies on the right hand side, and these Marines are actually going to try and contest. But something I keep forgetting, you can actually get two Marines somehow grabbing those supplies for whatever reason, maybe because one's positioned on the side, but it is possible, and it is very weird to see. So we were just buddies right here, sharing supplies with one another, and then we're just gonna have a great conversation near the heal spire. So generator is our second building, with our supply pad being our third building. So this is just going to be a classic 2-2 build where both of them will eventually end up getting upgraded. We're probably going to end up going armory, but it really just depends on what we see when we go ahead and scout with our infantry. We do have a Desi that's going to be yellow. Dark blue is going to be Pavium. I think light blue is either Atriox or Colony. I would think it's Colony. I could be wrong. We'll find out later. And our teammate red is a Covey. I just don't remember exactly who they were. So we're scouting with our Marine, and as you can see, they have generator coming up. We're second building point. So they're going to be able to, be able to have the same economy build such as we are. And as long as they don't expand right away, we'll be fine. But it could also be a play where they try to go Tech 2 right away, get Mantises up. And because I'm opening with Armory, I'm not really going to have an opportunity to go ahead and pressure, given the build order. That's something I'm going to continue to try and figure out. I do like Armory openers, but honestly, it can be hit or miss sometimes. I think there are better openers where you can be a lot more aggressive in the map and then take advantage of that aggressiveness. So that's something I'll continue to figure out down the line. But our armory is going to be up. We're going to continue to upgrade our supply pads. And now we're going to go ahead and work towards this second base. Mainly because I saw that green had a full economy build. So I don't think they're going to be coming to me anytime soon. And our Marine's going to head back to go ahead and scout, which means we have delayed our Spartan from coming out. We did get vehicle assembly. And there we go, they got some turrets, so definitely looks like they're just going to be playing defensively, and they're going to be working towards Tech 2, which means I will be on the clock for these Mantises, and I will be delayed for getting Tech 2 because of the fact that I got a second base, and I'm trying to get a hero up as well. So all in all, it's not really the best position to be in, but we can be just fine if we go ahead and macro up pretty well and get our economy going. Red's getting a little bit scouted by light blue, and it does look like we can confirm light blue is Colony this game. And the way this is going to play out is we're going to just continue to work. Okay, let's get them nodes. We need to get them nodes. I'm surprised we haven't worked on it yet. As you can see, we're floating a little bit of supply, but we're not really using much with it. We're still making our units, but unfortunately we're not doing anything with it. And dark blue is coming in with a grunt and engineer attack on that left hand side, which means red may have to come in to try and assist. My hero is out to go ahead and finally start working on the power nodes. We're going to start getting turrets on our second base. A vortex lightning comes down, which is nice to see. It got rid of the engineer, which is cool, but the hunter colony is going to prove to be some problems with the ghost. While I go ahead and clear out that node and check for a second base, we're still floating a lot of supply right now, which is alright, but definitely could be building units from this. But instead we're going to go ahead and work towards Tech 2. Now that we have the 1000 power, and there we go, Tech 2 will be underway. And there's something that I have noticed. If you've noticed it, then feel free to let me know that you have in the comments. If not, something has just happened in this early game that was a big crucial mistake. I am floating a lot of supply as well. So hopefully I get to spending that one way or another. This is not really a good beginning build order. I'm still upgrading my supply pads when I have 1200 supply. So I don't really agree with this, but it is what it is. We're going to finally make a gen. And here comes a Mantis. We go in with a Spartan Slam, and uh-oh, we did not have the hijack ability. I go ahead and check right away. This is what I ended up noticing. And unfortunately, because we don't have the hijack ability, we couldn't hijack that mantis to help defend our base. And now there's more mantis coming up because of the fact that light green ended up going with this build order. So unfortunately, I'm stuck in a tough spot. They just got their shields, and I need to cancel this expansion base right now, because if I don't, that's going to be wasted power. And there we go. We at least get our power back. We're going to get our hijack ability. But unfortunately, we're going to end up losing this base, and the Spartan's going to have to fall back. And because of this, we are now drastically behind. So we're going to have to hunker down and get ourselves ready for that nice long match that I was talking about. Because from here on out, we're climbing. We're all on one base. The enemies were able to establish second base, even though our shipmaster was able to at least deny a second base from happening from dark blue for a little bit. But those mantises are going to be a problem, and because of the fact that I did not have hijack upgraded, I got punished dearly for it. So very unfortunate in that regards. And if I also made some marines as well at the beginning of this game, I could have at least fended it off also. So lots of misplays. We're getting ourselves a third gen. We're going to get ourselves upgrades for our Spartan, and here's that second base that is being established by the enemy, and Colony's actually taking that forward base, which means Johnson took the back base, which can be a little bit of a problem down the line because Covey's a little bit harder with them shield generators and cloaking generators. So now we're going to start making some Kodiaks, because we have to just, as I said, hunker down, set up shop, and just try our best to just be as efficient as possible on this side. But it's still not the best situation. At least our Spartan's upgraded. We want to try and prevent these nodes from being captured if possible. And the Spartan's going to do a good job doing that. But see, those mantises, they're waiting. They're waiting for an opportunity to come in and crash on me, which is not something we want to happen. But we can still try and prevent the nodes from being captured and then just fall back afterwards. And that's what we're going to go ahead and do. We got our first Kodiak coming in. Our Spartan's going to continue to fall back. But green has a plethora of mantises that we cannot do anything about. And if he wanted to, he could have tried to push me, even though I do have some turrets. I had an opportunity to do so before the Kodiaks were starting to get established, but they decided not to. They didn't have them killer instincts to go ahead and do so. And so we're going to just continue to just stay on one base, try and get our economy going. We need to support drone to get the extra vision for the Kodiaks. We're going to continue to just keep eyes and tabs on that expansion base to see what type of tech they're doing. They're still trying to send a grunt over to capture it, and there's that shield gen, so that base is going to become even harder to take out. But we do have a rank 1 Spartan now because of that, and that's going to be pretty nice to see. Now the question is, can we go ahead and establish a second base? Hunter Colony has some hunters already, and that's also going to be a big problem with the ghost build that Shipmaster did. So they're going to have to transition to something else down the line. And with our third Kodiak coming out, I think that's going to be enough for us to at least get a good amount of siege. I think now's a good time to get the second base, because of the fact that we are just still floating so much supply. We don't really have anything to spend it on. But we're going to just continue to make some vehicles. Oh, we're actually going to self-destruct and make an air pad. Not even going to go with upgrades for our vehicles at the moment. But the second base is going to go ahead and get established. And with the siege spread out pretty well. Whoa, we got ourselves a transport drop coming in by the enemy. A cleansing beam was going to try and come in. We got a Mac coming in as well, but mechanical overcharge does work and just stops their units from getting destroyed. But we at least have a good spread of the siege. Yes, we lost 2 Kodiaks, but we could have lost more than 2 Kodiaks. And because of that, this is going to at least help us out. A second cleansing beam is coming in, and it's going to help get rid of a lot of their mech, which that's a good sign. We reset their mech, and our second base will be able to more safely be obtained. And now we have a little bit of an edge coming out. We crawled out just a little bit. That was a good setback by us for the enemy. And now that we have 2,000 supply and 2,000 power, and we're on Tech 3, we know what time it is. It is going to be Condor time. I know I'm going to go Condor. There's that Condor. If you're flowing that much supply and power, you're going to just have to go ahead and do it. The Hero Condor, we have seen it plenty of times in this channel. And you know what? No one else loves more than a Vet 3 Condor than me, even though I've never gotten a Vet 3 Condor, but it's the nicest thing to ever see. And
Local units.
now we're in just a weird position as a whole. We gotta wait for this condor to come out. We can't make sure we overcommit, and we have to get the second base established. We do have our Spartans still just trying to lay down the law on this side, making sure that no one or nothing shows up. And we're still trying to prevent the node from being captured. And there's our garage. We should keep on getting some siege. We're getting some air upgrades as well. And that's going to be nice to have. But right now, we're in a standstill. As I said, this is going to be a long climb back. And yeah, there may not be much happening right now. But if you look at the plays that have been happening, Yellow was able to finally establish a second base. Red still has no army either for whatever apparent reason. And so right now we're just building up our arsenals and getting ready to attack. But Green has actually been chilling around the colony's base for quite some time. And because of that, they're actually able to defend that base very well. It's not like I'm able to push it whatsoever, but it's still a big problem because of the fact that Green is on this side. But they have opportunities to go ahead and push us, and they never did. And I think that's a really huge mistake, because looking at our team, right, we only have one player that has a lot of units and the rest do not. So pop the hologram, but hologram was not really needed. Condor is still, excuse me, doing some work there. And now we have a Scarab on our side. So it's just like when behind, just go super units, right? So we have a Scarab. We do have a Condor coming in as well very soon. And there we go. We got our Condor up, ready to go and wreak some havoc. We're going to start moving a little bit of siege up. But it turns out we got to get the siege moving back a little bit, mainly because they're going to get ready to start moving out. We're going to see if we can get a Y move for the Condor set up. But that Mac just comes in and oof, they got me pretty good there. I don't even know how they got the vision to be able to do that. But we are going to at least steal a Cyclops. Not a Cyclops, a Colossus. Scarab is moving on through, which is nice. And the cleansing did some damage too. So all in all, great pressure that we have so far. Siege turret is there. And so now we are actually positioned pretty well to do some good damage here. The Scarab is taking a lot of damage, which is very unfortunate. But we do have the constant pressure. Vehicle upgrades are coming in. Fortification upgrades are coming in as well. And Colony actually snuck around through the back to try and go after the Kodiak that's in the back. And that's very unfortunate because we're going to lose that additional siege. But we're going to at least be able to hopefully take out the Colony. But we're going to need to continue that production for siege. Get them air upgrades going to help our air Condor last a little bit longer. And just keep this pressure up as a whole. Looks like the shields are still up, and we do have a rank 1 Spartan inside of Colossus, and we do have the Desi Air that is here with us as well. So we're not going to go and push in that direction just yet, but we do have at least, there we go, shields are down. This is going to be an opportunity for us to try and push. Can we get a Y move up to go ahead and do some damage, which we will. Gets rid of 2 Mantises. Y move could have been popped a little bit better there, but we now have 2 siege turrets being lined up. Hunterbrand comes in very nicely on our own units. The Banshees are going to come in as well now. And if we can go ahead and take out some units, this is actually going to be very fortunate for us. Reinforcement upgrade is going to come in, but there's a lot of Reavers by Dark Blue right now. And even though I have a rank 1, Rain of Fire is coming down as well. We got a Mac Blast coming in to try and save it. And so we got to retreat our Condor. We kind of have it way in a forward position that did not need to happen. Now they have a Cloak and Gen, and because they have a Cloak and Gen, this is going to be practically impossible. We could have at least kept the pressure going, but unfortunately, we kind of maneuvered in a very poor way to not be able to maximize the situation. So we're going to fall back. We're going to use this Healing Spire. And for now, we're just going to see if we can have another opportunity to fight this later on down the line. But all in all, it's not really looking too hot. But we do have 2 siege turrets set up. We're going to get 2 turrets set up in the back in case any air does show up. We're going to keep our upgrades for our supply pads and get ourselves a 3rd generator because we need it. And what happens when you try to fit a Scarab and a Condor or 1 small Healing Spire? There's just not enough room for the both of them. They're both chunky boys, and because of that, we have to maneuver our Condors a little bit to get them heals going. But we do have a rank 1 Condor, and this is where we have the possibility to continue to get our Condor to a higher level. But There's going to be a lot of units we're going to have to get rid of here. And the question is, will we be able to get rid of it? But that cloaking gen is going to continue to be a problem for us. And even though we have 2 shield gens, it's still not really too nice for us. We're still going to get some anti-vehicle turrets. And the main reason why we're going to get that is because we just don't want a situation where that transport drop comes in. There is a scarab on the left-hand side trying to do some damage, but the base is actually cloaked by the enemy. And so that is very unfortunate because they can't actually see that base to do any damage whatsoever. So that scarab's going to have to fall back. But we're going to make some more nightingales and we're going to get ready to move out. The thing is that they have like 2 sensor towers on there at least. And because of that, they're able to see our army transition over to the right side. And this is going to be a little bit of a problem because we're telegraphing our attack over here. We don't really have all the heals that we need. And there we go. They've already been prepared for this. They got themselves all the units that they need. I tried to use Ghost of the Machine and I just panicked and didn't get rid of a lot of the units that are there. Y-Move is going to go ahead and try and get popped. But now they use combat salvage. And even though we're doing a great job with the stuns and clearing out all these units, their units are just going to come right back. And our Spartan ends up getting eliminated. He was a rank 2 Spartan or a rank 1. But we got ourselves the teleporter by Shipmaster, and they're going to try and focus down on his base. A lot of damage is being done, but the Scarabs are also taking a lot of damage as well. Our Condor has shown up to try and assist, but that's a lot of Reavers. We are in a very tough spot here. Blisterbacks are now being used as well. We're trying to retreat our level 1 Condor. Will it be able to retreat? It's almost there to the healing spire, but it's taking a little bit too much damage, and one just jumped over to the other side, and there we go. The hopes and dreams of the Condor is gone. We are not going to have it. We have completely overcommitted on the right hand side. Now it's full scale retreat. Green was going to try and take the teleporter, but the Desi-Air was sitting right there. So unfortunately, the dream, you know, I thought we were going to go ahead and have a Condor ranked up. If you did too, I apologize, you know. It just did not happen. So we now have to figure out a way to figure out an army comp to fight this mech and just figure out a way to pull ourselves back because we're kind of behind. We lost everything there. From that overcommitment on that attack, all 3 of them came in on that side. So tank production, here we come. We do have shields on them, which is nice. But I don't know, we're kind of stuck here. If we go with vehicles, it's not a bad move, but what is the play to go ahead and do it? There's an unspoken rule where like you don't really need to go vultures unless it's a stalemate, I guess, but there's a bunch of Reavers and Hunters that are there in the middle of the map, and it's just going to make the Desi-Air a little bit hard to just be able to take care of because they have a lot of Reavers. And I do want to go ahead and see if we can try and get some push going on the right hand side because it looks relatively clear. But now we're going to have 2 garages up. We still have our air pad. We're going to see if we can get ourselves a push on this side of the map. And this is what's weird. It's like it's as if Green knows exactly what I am trying to do the whole time, because Green is now setting up in a position such that he knows that I'm trying to push this side, and here comes Green with some Mantises, and I don't even have my Kodiak set up yet. So we're going to go ahead and try and retreat just a little bit. And now try and take this engagement in the healing spire. I want the Kodiaks to get set up, and I hope they do, but nope. Just like always, these Kodiaks seem to have a problem trying to get themselves set up. But they're retreating. I'm still pressuring the issue just a little bit. We got our siege starting to get set up. We got one of them set up, so good for that Kodiak. And now they're going to go ahead and try and push. So we're going to pop the hologram, and we're going to go on in. We're going to try and get our Spartan Slam. Matt comes in, but the mechanical overcharge comes in. Rain of Fire also misses, but a great Hunter Brand comes in. And now I'm going to pop my combat repairs. But look at this Kodiak down here trying to do a battle over here. Vortex Lightning is coming down as well, which is nice. And we did steal Colossus, which is nice to see too. And right now, no one's owning the Healing Spire, which is alright, but I am losing my whole army. Once again, and this is going to be quite the problem, I have not been able to have good fights at all so far in this game. And now we have EMP mat coming in. Our stuff is getting stunned. And even though we have reinforcements coming in, they got to heal and they're in the healing spire. Nuh-uh, we need to go ahead and just fall back as a whole. This is not something that we're going to be able to hold and fight. And at least get them out of the healing spire. So our Kodiaks are going to go ahead and set up. Transport is going to come in and pick them up. And they're going to go ahead and head over to where the double scarab attack is happening right now. On a red to light blue's base. There's a lot of army happening over there. We do have some siege turrets that are helping out. And I am now in position. A displacement comes in to push some of the army away. But unfortunately, we're still stuck in a weird spot. And blisterbacks are now set up in the back of the base with a mega turret somewhere, I think on the mini base in mid. And this is just becoming more and more of a pain to go ahead and try and break. But there we go, the two scarabs, they're just chilling. They're waiting for an opportunity, and so far there has been no opportunities. And so we're going to keep the vehicle tech going for now until we really get a vibe of what the enemy is trying to do. And if we can go back to trying to push this right lane, maybe we can do something out of this. But this stalemate right now is happening pretty hard. We're 21 minutes into the game. And honestly, it's kind of impressive that we have been able to last this long since we were in the back foot. But they have not really bothered to go ahead and try and push us whatsoever. And here comes green, just perfectly positioned once again on us. And now I have to go ahead and retreat. But instead I'm going to try and steal with our Spartan, get the slam going. We do have canister shell, which is going to help clear out this mech. And it does look like all this mech is going to get destroyed, which is nice to see. So now we can go ahead and try and push green, because we kind of just wiped out a lot of his mech that was here. There are some mines, which is going to be a little bit of a problem to clear up. But there you have it. Green has shown up with some vultures. The vulture war is going to begin. The fact that they have gone vultures is a break of a pack, where if they go vultures, you got to go vultures. That's just how it is with UNSC, because vultures can be OP. And here we go, we got ourselves a big attack with a scarab. We got a bunch of tanks here. Hunter Brand comes in and hurts my army really well. But we do have hologram just taking up a lot of this damage, which is nice. We're going to use Ghost of the Machine to take over some of the vultures here, which will be nice to see. And we're going to see if we can take out some of them with the Y move and pop them and waste them. But right now, green actually has way more vultures than what we wanted, and they're coming back alive. We do have a Mac that we can go ahead and place. The Desi Air has arrived as well, which will be nice. And our army pop is still looking relatively healthy, but now the Pavium used their ult as well. Rain of Fire is coming in on those Banshees. Engineer Swarm, we're trying to get rid of as much units as possible. Don't know why I'm trying to strip down the base instead of destroying some units, because that should be the bigger priority. But we already lost a Scarab over here. Dark Blue with a bunch of Reavers is also going to be a problem, but some great canister shells are coming in. But green is starting to get stabilized just a little bit, and I don't really have the anti-air to go ahead and fight these Reavers. I mean vultures, so I'm going to go ahead and have to start falling back. I got rid of practically everything on the ground, but now it's the air that's the problem. So we're going to have to fall back. We don't really have everything that we need to continue this fight any further, unfortunately. So we're falling back. We did a great push. We were so close in trying to break this position. In fact, I'm still trying to fight this position a little bit longer, but I definitely should have fallen back, and I did not. I lost all my Kodiaks. We're gonna try and get rid of the Scarab of the Hunter if possible. The hero at least took out the Hunter, and we're still just trying to get rid of as much as we can. More Wolverines come in, but they're coming in against an army of Hunters, so it's not like we can fight anything. We're trying to steal the Reaver, and at this point we overstayed our welcome. Definitely should have fallen back like about a minute or two ago. And even though we have a rank 1 Spartan, the Spartan's not doing too hot. And so now it is time. We're going to get our air pad up. We're going to say goodbye to our rank 1 Spartan. He did a great job. If he survives this, he's seen so much. His predecessor wasn't able to last as long as he has. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen. He's going to be taken out. So with a moment of silence to go ahead and understand that this Spartan, he fought every tooth and nail. but he wasn't able to do it. But wait, reinforcements has come in. Maybe there's a chance this Spartan is getting healed. Oh, and we have saved him. I jumped to a conclusion there. Never underestimate a Spartan. They are able to survive everything and anything except for the last one. We're going to just say that one was a mistake. Not a mistake of bringing him alive, but you know, miss micro, unfortunately. So now we're in a tough situation. We're going double garage. We have 2 air pads, and now we have to start getting some vultures out. We got to start getting some anti-air out because this is going to be a problem. We're getting ourselves some air upgrades, but now we're going to work on getting those vultures out because we are behind in that significantly. Green had practically a full pop of vultures, and we were able to reset that, which was nice to see. But this is going to be tough. Vulture battles, vulture wars. It's not really great. It's not really awesome. And here comes green. Speaking of vulture wars, they're going to start focusing down on the base with the Y move. And it's being popped on my base. Fortunately, I do have fortification, which is nice to see. But I'm going to need some sort of heal. And it looks like the Desi Air is actually going to push it back. The base barely lives because we have the cloak coming down as well from the Nightingale. And that was quite the hold because we could have lost that base, and that would have been a very tough loss. I don't know what we could have done if we lost that base, but we did not lose that base. And with this army on the right hand side, I'm going to see if I can get some pressure there because we have reset the vultures from green with all that Desi. And now we're going to go ahead and try and push this right hand side and see if we can get some sort of push. There are some turrets. We are going to use our Spartan to try and hijack, which failed miserably. Rain of Fire is coming down, and now an EMP Mac. We're just taking all the leader abilities. We're going to have to fall back once again. There's just no way. We got to keep a Nightingale on hold position to go ahead and heal the base. We do have siege turrets helping out at our second base. But now we're going to see if we can get ourselves a push on this side because the army is out of position. So if we can come in, get rid of some of these turrets, get rid of the air pads. Actually, vultures are coming in with Y moves already. We do have Wolverines to try and do some damage, but a teleport comes in by the colony, and this is going to be a very bad engagement. We do have a Mac though, and this Mac is going to come in and do a lot of good damage against the colony. But Desi Air has been reset, and I need to start falling back because that's a lot of vultures. I cannot fight that right now. But we have a Scarab working on the second base by the colony. The base is going down. Remember, they did the teleport. Will we be able to take it out? The Scarabs are focusing it down. I am losing some vultures, and they're going to start shifting over to red to get rid of the Scarab. But the base is almost taken out, and will we be able to take it out? Yes, we will, and that base was able to be taken out. Dark Blue is going to come in and reinforce, but I use Hologram to provide the cover fire. And so now, while they're retreating and the cleansing beam's coming down, this is where I'm going to say you're going to have to watch the second part of this video when it comes out another time. And that's going to be the next episode because I don't have the time to do a 60 or maybe 90 or maybe an hour and a half long video. And so I hope you enjoyed it. It's exciting to show the second half as well because the second half, the real Vulture Wars are going to go ahead and begin. But with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If so, feel free to leave a like and a subscribe. And enjoy the rest of your day, evening, afternoon, and keep being awesome. And until the next commentary video.